I hope you guys are not bored already. Okay, so I'm gonna have to get through this real quickly. So just listen up, yeah. And if I ask anything, just give an answer quickly. Don't wait for 5 minutes. All right. So we can have the first verse up. Proverbs 29:18. Alright, so in Proverbs 29:18 it says, when there is no revelation, the people cast off restraint, but blessed is he who keeps the law. Alright, it says, I have a simpler version. It says, when there is no vision, the people perish. Yeah, it's quite simple. When there is no vision, the people perish. So just keep that at the back of your heads. Just for some of you guys out there, any of you guys interested in joining army, or even like looking at the Air Force do their shows, or the Army do their shows, any of you guys? Girls as well? Alright, so just to give you some information. So, there's this ship called the USS John Stennis. It weighs around 200 million pounds. It's powered by 2 nuclear reactors, which only have to be replaced every 26 years. So it could be at sea for a long, long time. Its top speed is 30 knots, and it carries around 5,000 personnel. So what I'm trying to say is, this ship doesn't have to be inshore to refuel. It's not like the olden days. The olden days, the ships had to carry a lot of fuel. You had to come back to shore every time to refuel again and go back. It can stay out for 26 years, come back in, get a new nuclear reactor in the hull, and then out again for 26 years. So God has offered us a power source, yeah, and all we need to do is find the fuel for this power source, which I will tell you after I finish talking about the vision part. So the power source is the vision in itself. Yeah. So the power source for the ship was a nuclear reactor, but our power source is, say it with me, what is it? Vision. It's vision. Our power source is vision. Yeah. So vision. Any of you know what the definition of vision is? Put your hands up. You can go ahead. Anyone? No, vision. What is vision? What is the dictionary definition? Anyone? Alright, fine. Yeah. Okay, fine. Okay, so vision is a vision is a precise, clearly defined goal with a detailed plan and timetable for achieving the goal. Yeah? You guys all heard that? I'll read it once more. A vision is a precise, clearly defined goal with a detailed plan and a timetable for achieving that goal. So, we know that the power source is vision, and we know that we're going to come to the fuel next. So, I'm reading this book actually. I was reading through it, and this is where I'm getting most of my points from. It's about King Solomon and how he refers to Proverbs as well. So King Solomon said that vision for King Solomon was like a clear picture for a destination and a detailed map to get there. So King Solomon said that a vision for him was a clear picture and he had a detailed map to get to that. Yeah. So how important is that you have such a well-defined vision or visions in your personal or your professional, which is your studies, in your personal and professional lives. So having a vision is very important, because if none of you have a very precise or clear goal in your mind, you don't know how you're going to achieve things in the future. And having a vision is so important, because without this, our innermost being will begin to waste away. So if I don't know what I'm going to do in the future, and I don't have a clear, precise path that I'm going to take, or something, a timetable or a plan that I've written that I need to hand my chem prep in, or I'm weak in chem, and my vision is to be able to achieve a good grade, but I don't know how I'm going to work through that, I'll just say, okay, I'll sit tonight and I'll study, that's fine, that's enough. That's not a clear vision at all. Yeah. A clear vision for me would be, or generally for everyone who has a vision to get a good grade, would be sit down, first create a timetable saying, look, I'm free on this day, I don't have sport on that day, I have music that day, but I'm free on the other day. So I can sit after school for an hour at least and get through one topic. So that's a clear, precise vision which says you need a detailed plan and a timetable for achieving that vision. So if you have a vision, you have the joy of living. Yeah? It's not just like, you won't feel like, oh, it's just, okay, my chem prep's going to be due, my exam's coming up, yeah, I'll get by it. I'll get a C. I'm not going to get a good grade in A or whatever, A star. I'm just going to get a C, yeah, it's fine for now. That's because I didn't have a good vision, I didn't have a clear plan or a timetable to achieve that. That's my mistake, yeah? So, you go from joy, like if you have a vision, you're filled with joy, you know what you're doing, you're happy about it. But if you don't, you go from being joyful to being depressed and ultimately despair. Because once I get my grade, I'll be like, come on, what happened? I worked, but I think I worked, but I actually didn't work. I didn't sit all those hours and actually prepare using my timetable. I thought I made that timetable in my head, but I didn't put it on a piece of paper, which is quite frequently that happens every day in all our lives. It happened to me as well just recently. And when we actually sit down, plan, put a timetable out, it's like we have happiness in us, like it's a satisfaction. Oh, I sat down today, I've created a timetable, and I've actually followed it for the first week. I've got through 1 hour of studies, and the next day as well I've got through another hour. I've learned at least a little bit. Not that you have learned the whole chapter, but at least you learned few things from the chapter in itself. And it gives you a lot of fulfillment saying, I've got through this. It gives you the ability to push more for it. Yeah? So, gaining a clear and precise vision can bring renewed life to our dreams and inmost being. So if you have a very clear vision, it brings a good insight to what we have to do, what we have to achieve, what we need to be doing as well, having a timetable. Well, there are 4 steps. There are 4 steps to achieving this. So, first one, starting with your most important dream in any given area, write a clear and precise description of that dream. This description should be at least a sentence or 2. And it's basically what I'm saying is if you have something that you want to get done, like again, chemistry I'm saying, write it down on a piece of paper. If you don't have a handbook or something or a diary, get a small planner, write it down. Right? Start off with just saying, okay, what do I need? What is my important dream? Is even just what is important for my professional life, which is studies. What is important is I have maths, I have physics and chemistry. I'm good at maths, I'm good at physics. I'm lacking on chemistry. I need some work. Write that down. Second one. Alright, create a goals page for that. You need to be specific. Like saying a timetable, right? If you create a goals page, so you state the dream at the top of the page, then make a list of the specific intermediate goals that needs to be achieved to be fulfilled to this dream. So this is where you sit down, you plan. You sit and look at your timetable, you look at your days, your structure, what you're doing. Are you going to be sleeping or are you going to be working actually? And you plan that. Third one, Abhishek. Alright. Now you create a goal for each page and label those pages goals to steps. On each page, list the intermediate goals you want to achieve, then list the steps that need to be taken to achieve that goal. So once you know what you need to do, your goals, you found out what you have to do, what's your timing, now take steps. I can't sit for a stretch of an hour and study chemistry. I'll faint. I'll be like, this is impossible. I can't do that. I can't sit for an hour and study any subject in that case. I need a little distraction in between that for me to be focused again. So write down small things like, okay, truthfully tell it yourselves, okay, I'll study for half an hour most probably. I'll understand that half an hour. But maybe if I take 10 minutes or 15 minutes off and just go play around a little bit of hockey or football, or just go chat with another friend of mine or even read the Bible, pray to God for a little while to give you more wisdom, more concentration and help you. Something like that you can take exclusive steps to help you achieve that 1 hour as well. Alright, next one please. Alright. So pick any complex step in your list of steps that requires the completion of more than one task and creates a steps to task page. So if you're, like how I said, if you're not going to be able to achieve something, but you've had that vision and you want to achieve it, but it's complicated, you need to sit down and uncomplicate it. Like how I said, I can't sit for an hour, but you need to sit down with yourself, be truthful with yourself, say, okay, look, I'm not going to be able to achieve this in such a short time. I'm not going to be able to achieve it that much. If I don't have help from my teachers, which is very willingly provided, I think, around all schools, if I don't go because I don't, the teacher doesn't like me, she's very biased on another teacher. Doesn't work. Sit down, say, okay, I am going to go, I am going to sit, and I am going to ask questions. However bad the teacher gives me an answer, I am going to sit, I'm going to wait till she explains it correctly, and then I'm going to believe this. As even if it goes into supper time, you can make the teacher sit and explain it to you. Alright, next one. The final step in this process is to assign completion dates to each task and step. Once you've done that, you are ready to begin. Like, if you just say, okay, I need to study my chemistry, but also to that, I have so many other areas in life that I have to work on. So if I have maths and physics as a subject to take care of, I have to go for help as that as well. So you should be able to be very specific of dates. So say, my exam's coming up in 1.5 months now. Allocate the complete, like each chapter, how long is it going to take me? Is it going to take me a day? Is it going to take me 2 days to get through that chapter? Do that, and it makes it more specific. Even if you don't achieve that by that date, you can say, okay, I need to be cutting down this time. I should be sitting back another extra half an hour so that I get through this, because I can't sit for an hour stretch and I take a lot of break. I should be sitting another half an hour and getting that done. Alright, now if I can have Proverbs 13:12. Alright. Hope deferred makes the heart sick, but a longing fulfilled is a tree of life. So, one second. So what I'm trying to say is a little clearer. It says here. Alright. So hope deferred makes the heart sick, but desire fulfilled is a tree of life. Alright. So I looked at the power source for us that's needed to achieve a goal, which is vision. Now the fuel. There's always some kind of fuel that's needed. In a nuclear reactor, you need some kind of fuel, uranium or something like that, to be put in the reactor so that it runs. Otherwise, it won't run. The reactor is not going to work. So hope is the fuel for this. So when often you don't fulfill others' commitments or promises, like Joel, I haven't told this to him, but Joel has told me that I have to make him some jumpers, hoodies for his exec team. And he's hoping that I get that completed. But if I don't, I'm not fulfilling that promise for him, which I've committed and I've made. And he's hoping that he'll get it by this Saturday, which I hope to complete. And so you shouldn't have a lack of your own clear and precise visions from your important dreams. You should always hope that you're going to do it, but just don't hope that it will happen automatically on its own. Some angel will come down and it will finish all off. Hope meaning you need to sit and you need to plan, and that energy in you saying, I hope I'm going to do this correctly and it's going to happen. Yeah, that's what's going to push you in. So, can I have Proverbs 13? So, a longing fulfilled is sweet to the soul, but fool detests turning from evil. So, if something of yours is like, say, if I accomplish that for Joel, he'll be so happy with me. It's not only in other people's lives, but in your lives as well. If you hope to complete something and you complete it, you'll be so happy. You'll say, I've completed it. Your parents will be proud of you. Your teachers also will be proud of you. It's that if that's in your professional career. So studying. Yeah. So I've talked about vision being the power source and hope being the fuel for that to move on. Now I want to talk to you about something that's very common, and it affects everyone in this room, which is communication. It's quite simple, I think. So Proverbs 16:23. A wise man's heart guides his mouth, and his lips promotes instruction. So like in today's world, all of us can talk a lot. That's for sure. Even I'm doing that right now. But the amount that we talk, how much of that actually affects people in today's life? Like, I hope that I affect some of you today, or most of you today, by telling you about this. Because if you can talk all you can, but it's completely ineffective, it doesn't work in today's world, yeah? Even to your friends, like, you're trying to sort out an issue, but your communication is completely ineffective, it's not going to work. So, a lot of communication has a lot of different aspects. So, what you say, yeah, and how you say it can have a life-changing impact on others. Like, I can say something nice to Abhishek, but my complete reaction to that is different. So I'm very angry. I look very angry, but I'm saying something nice. it can have a very different impact on him. He can think that, what's that? I'm angry at him, but I'm actually saying something nice to him. And he think I'm being sarcastic, but I'm not. Yeah. So a few things that I think communication can do to people in a conversation or anywhere. So even like your communication can extinguish anger or escalate it. We can have Proverbs 15:1. Alright, so a gentle answer turns away wrath, but a harsh word stirs up anger. Like even when you're talking to your friends, like even one small thing you say wrong, that you know that's gonna, you don't know, but that's gonna hurt them, or you could have changed that word instead of using that. It could really affect that person in a good way, rather than making him really angry. Another thing is your communication can wound or heal others. Proverbs 12:18. Alright, so reckless words pierce like a sword, but the tongue of the wise brings healing. So like even when we have arguments in today's world, I think all of you have arguments together, right? All you friends have had arguments with each other. But in that argument, have you guys ever stopped and thought, should I carry on this argument? Isn't it pointless that I keep saying something harsh or something rude to that person? And it's just going to really affect him, and he's going to be really disturbed by whatever I've said. Yeah? Or rather, you could have taken a moment and said, look, let me just think. Am I doing something right? Or should I stop? Should I apologize? Should I go about it another way? Should I say, look, you shouldn't have done that? Like, you shouldn't immediately pounce on the situation when something bad happens to you. You should always think and take it slow. Yeah, it doesn't matter how long it takes to finish that problem, but make sure you don't aggravate the situation. Alright, the next one is your communication can bring delight to others. Proverbs 25:11. Alright, so a word aptly spoken is like apples of gold in settings of silver. So you can like, even small things when you guys say to each other as friends, yeah, it will bring so much, like you think it won't bring joy, like, but in that person he might not show it, but it actually affects each individual so much. Like just saying thank you to even some people that you don't even know, like they're serving you but you don't even know them, and you just say thank you for today, it's been a great, thank you for the, like your caterers, thank you for the food, it's been amazing. Small things can really delight people in large ways that you can't even think about, but we think that no, it's not going to affect them much. Only if you do something grand or big, give them some big car or something like that, they'll be very happy, oh, they've done something for me. Yeah. So words of love, kindness and encouragement really bring about a different change in people's lives. So I just have a few ways you can improve your communication, which King Solomon himself has told people, and King Solomon was a great king, and he's taken a lot of decisions, and many of them have been very wise. And it says that speak in a way that others want to listen. So even when you're talking to someone, yeah, you're trying to, like you're the captain of a team or you're a leader in activity, talk in a way that people want to listen to you, not just it's just for the fun of it, you're a leader, okay, yeah, let's get by. Talk in a way that you'll encourage people to as well become leaders by how you lead the team. Yeah, a verse in that is Proverbs 15:2. The tongue of the wise commands knowledge, but the mouth of the fool crushes folly. Okay, so it's very easy to say a lot of words, but if you actually condense all that and you say it in a shorter way and make it easier to swallow for the other person so that they can understand, it's much more easier. So then people want to listen to you. If you want to say something about different movie, you're giving a movie review to one of your friends, saying, okay, Tangled was such an amazing movie, and you just go on about the hair, you're never going to get done with the movie, are you? Rather than that, if you condense it and you tell them, okay, this part was great, that part was great, they would want to listen. It would be easier for them to digest and say, okay, yeah, those points he said, yeah, I understand that. Another way is, listen before speaking. Proverbs 18:13. Listen before speaking. This is the biggest area in all our lives we always mess up on, even me. I think even Mr. Sundar messes up every day. Am I right, Mr. Sundar? Yeah. So everyone messes up in this room, that when someone's going to say something, especially our teachers, and you think they're wrong before they even finish the whole answer, ma'am, that's wrong, ma'am. And when they finish it, they're actually right. we should always be eager to listen than to speak. He who answers before listening, that is folly and his shame. So whenever you answer a question, or even like individually you're giving an answer to a friend or suggesting something, you're trying to help them, motivate them, listen to their whole situation. Don't just say, he's saying something, oh, my leg hurts, this, that, but then suddenly you say, oh, I know what to do, put tape bandage around it and put some cream. Finish. But you don't know the full detail of it actually. Yeah? So listen. It can happen every day in our lives, and you might think you'll impact them quickly by talking fast and just telling them what to do. But instead of that, just listen. People sometimes just want to be listened to. Take a minute, listen, and then advise them. Then they'll feel it'll relate much. Another thing is be slow to speak and guard your words carefully. Every single word you say makes an impact on other people. Psalm 39:20.
Yes, yes.
Alright, it says, do you see a man who speaks in haste? There is much more hope for a fool than for him. Yeah? So, just make sure you guard your words and take your time and speak like slowly, but don't hurry up on everything. So I think that's it for today. I think I had some more planned, but we can't do it because of short time. But yeah, I hope you guys took something from that, and like just think before you say anything and communicate. And always remember, when you have something to achieve, think about the two things that I said: the power source being the wisdom, the vision, and the fuel being its hope. So thank you for listening. Thanks so much.